Thank you for listening to the TTalks.net podcast, the show that brings you information, guidance, and support to entrepreneur-minded individuals like yourself. TTalks.net will give you something to talk about tomorrow. This isn't the Daily Show, but this is the show where you'll get everything. You'll get a fiesta of a mix with the old and the new. They will give you tips and insights into everyday business, big wins in everyday life. They have a lot to add, from bookkeeping to sales management, and sales training, and daily content for listeners to learn and enjoy. We are here to improve your life in business or sales career. Without any further ado, introducing the dynamic duo, Alex DeLuca and Rafael Rodriguez Jr.
And good evening. Hey Ralph, how you doing today? We're in for another exciting, eventful, action-packed half hour of T-Talks, huh?
That's what we're gonna try to do.
That's it. Moving and grooving.
Information to share, and we talked about time management. But before we even talk about time management, you know what I got to talk about today.
What are you going to talk about? It doesn't have to do anything with cryptocurrencies, does it?
You know it. Crypto, my friend.
Crypto, my friend. It's kind of you said it the other day. At least something happened. Good past year and a half. But cryptocurrency. All I can say is wow.
A lot of people, and I'm kind of glad. A lot of people are really, and a lot of people are making money. I mean, I know that some big players that put in a lot of money into the crypto, they're making buku dollars, but a lot of regular guys are just killing it, and that's just a beautiful thing to see,
No, it really is, and it's taken the world, the markets by storm. Dogecoin, wow. What did I tell you when we jumped on the show? It's the number 6 tweeted thing today. Trending Dogecoin. What's it up? 5,000% since not too long ago.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. My daughter was just doing the math on her money, and she just can't believe it. Basically, she bought $40 worth of Dogecoin, and is worth 1,000 plus.
That's unbelievable. So you're looking at the 1 month. It's about to hit 60 cents again, by the way, for the day. 1 month you're up 943%. Your 3 month average, you're up 1,500%, and if you go to that 1 year, you're up 24,000% on the 1 year mark. And there's other coins out there, Safe Moons, this moon, that moon, and this, that, and the other. But, it's a way to definitely make a living, but pay your taxes.
Yes, absolutely. Make sure you don't pay taxes while you're holding. The minute you sell it, the capital gain. Don't forget about Uncle Sam.
Never forget about Uncle Sam.
Especially if you have it either overseas, or there are some crypto holding that are overseas that I don't necessarily report. As a U.S. citizen, it is our duty to report any foreign income to the IRS, as not reporting will be considered tax evasion.
Ladies and gentlemen, any questions, please reach out, theremotebookkeepers.com.
All right, time management, prioritizing your time.
Topics. We're in May, right? May's the month, May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Corny as it can be. That's us, ladies and gentlemen. T-Talks, having fun. We touched base on some really good stuff yesterday. Start out time management. Went through the 3 P's: positive, personal, possible, the SMART way: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timed. When you're talking about basically organizing your day, setting out goals, prioritizing your goals. We touched base with visualization. Was that the last one we touched base on yesterday?
That is correct. So we
Awesome.
are going right into prioritizing your time.
Prioritizing your time. Yes, that is
So time
huge.
management is about more than just managing our time. It's about managing ourselves in relation to time. It means being willing to experiment with different methods and ideas to enable you to find the best way to make maximum use of time.
You know, there's a great quote here: "What is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important." Dwight D. Eisenhower. The 80-20 rule, Ralph. What is this? This is the first 80-20 rule. How can we
Well, in sales we talked about 80-20. In customer we talk about 80-20, and it's incredible that such a mathematical equation does exist. 80% of your results will basically be based on 20% of your action. And you might hear that 20% of your sales crew creates 80% of your revenue.
and that is the truth.
20% of your customer base generate almost 80% of your revenue. And it might not be exact, but of course we just use it as a general rule, the 80-20 rule. And basically there's a lot of things that just follow such rule. And I mean, I don't have nothing to do with why it's 80-20. The one thing I do know is that it does exist, and it's pretty damn close.
Pretty dang close every time, no matter which way you slice and dice it.
So, the urgent and important matrix.
Urgent and important.
So, this is where sometimes we got to think, and we have to put it into almost compartments. Okay? Like, this is urgent and important. This is important but urgent. This is urgent but not important, and not urgent and not important. And once you kind of break those down into those 4 different compartments, you can literally start just kind of prioritizing your different buckets. And you might have heard this before, because we kind of do the same thing when we talk about our customer base. Those people that are hot, but they're cautious, and then you got the people that are warm, and then you got the people that they might be price shopping, and they really work really cold. There's no difference. What we're doing is that we're categorizing, and in this particular case, categorizing events, so we can focus on what's more important to us, and what's going to give us the most amount of reward. If something is urgent and important, it's probably something that you want to address compared to something that's not urgent and not important.
No, 100%. And I don't know when or where this was brought up. Either it was on the show or the other day I was having discussion. But even I'm going through my list. I touched base on, went through April again, and earlier today went through March of all my prospects and my sales funnel. Everybody has a number. Every one of them. There's a column. It's a number 1 through 10. It's either a 0, probably 5, 7, or 8, or a 10. And it's prioritizing. And I take those. My anything that's 5 and above, you throw them into another area to put your sense of urgency on it, more or less, right?
That's correct. Now, the one thing I do caution is that, when we do these compartments, you got to make certain that you do not mislabel. Thinking that something that's not urgent and not important might be urgent and important. To give you an example, one of your employees' mother died, Okay, and in the realm of things, it might not be important to the organization, but definitely
Hmm.
important to the morale. But yet you put it as not urgent and not important, but in reality, it should be urgent and important. You should try to, it's all about taking care of people. Now, and this is kind of difficult because we're trying to put a human factor into things, and we can easily distract ourselves and putting and mislabeling um, the important stuff. So we just got to be careful and just kind of read it one more time to kind of make sure that you don't put it in the wrong category. It's just something that I did want to go ahead and bring out.
I would definitely say pay attention to that 100%. We are all human at the end of the day. There's checks and balances for everything. I hope you have it in place. I don't know what you do, Ralph, but we talk about the lovely CRMs. So I have my CRM. I got my daily freaking big book that's about to be up because it's in the middle of the year. I guess I renew my planner. And then I got my Google spreadsheet for my list of my leads that I use. So that's three ways to track checks and balances of what's important. But yeah, I can't tell you how many times it's happened. And the reason I do that is because you do miss market and you drive by that house or you see that client got what your service was and it wasn't from you. And it's because you misplaced it, put the wrong label on it.
Well, and I think that the easiest way, and I'm going to try to explain it as quickly as we can due to time constraint, but
What? We only have a half hour, or you trying to rush? Or what's wrong?
yes. So, urgent and important should be activities in the areas that relate to dealing with critical issues as they arise and meeting significant commitments, and you got to perform these duties now. Important but not urgent, these are success oriented tasks that are critical to achieving goals, and you should plan to do these tasks next. Urgent but not important, these are chores that do not move you forward towards your own goals, but managed by delaying them, cutting them short, rejecting requests from others, postponing these chores. Not urgent, not important, these are trivial interruptions that are just a distraction and should be avoided if possible. However, and we said it earlier, just be careful about mislabel things like time and family and recreational activity as not being important because it can come back and tag you. So just you should have some type of a clarity in regards to your reasoning for putting these things into compartments, and you should at least try to give yourself some alternative, and such as if you put something as not urgent and not important, what can I do that I can prioritize it and make it maybe something that's urgent but not important, and I think the easiest way that you can kind of tackle this is just kind of being honest to yourself and being honest with the explanation and the reasoning behind of what you're saying.
100%.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Right on topic. Moving along. That can almost be a tongue twister segment. The urgent but not important, important but not urgent, urgent important. That one could get confusing. I hope those of you that are paying attention got that one there.
Well, on the next topic, which is planning wisely, um, this is your make or break type of scenario. And I think one of the things, and I think there's a quote somewhere along the line that one of the Greek philosophers have said. Do you know which one it is?
We're going to talk about Plato.
Yes.
A work well begun is half ended.
So what? And we're talking about this is a couple hundreds of years ago. A work well begun is half ended. So basically, you plan you plan, and you plan wisely. And
You
I
know,
think
it's all about the plan.
well, having a
And then you
daily
got to
plan
follow
and a
through with it, right?
commitment, it can help you stay focused on priorities on that particular day. I think we have rehashed this 1,000 times. Write your daily goals and, make sure you got your tasks. If you don't finish your task today, you carry it over to the next day. These are things that should be almost habitual. And we say it 1,000 times, but it's not just saying it, it's just acting on it. And I think we talked about that 80/20, that 80/20 rule. Well,
Yes.
it's all about not just talking about it, but, creating actions behind what you're talking about. Because otherwise, you know what it is? Hot air.
What is it?
Hot air.
Hot air. You know, hot air balloon. That's what. Go blow some smoke
Yeah,
of somebody else's. You know what?
have you ever done a productivity journal?
Oh yeah, definitely. Productivity journals. You know, I'm the king of journals. You name it, I've done it. I've bought them. You ever hear of the best journal? The best self.
No.
It was pretty neat. You start your day off. It's 3 things you're thankful for. You have your next goals lined up. You know, X, Y, Z is your mission. 3 things you need to tackle for that day. What do you need to do to tackle those 3 things? There was a part right underneath it to go ahead. What did I accomplish today? And then at the end of the day, 3 things I'm thankful for the day. That was a book. I actually bought probably like 6 of those books. They're pretty neat. But you know, productivity journals, notebooks, prioritize your tasks, cross off completed items. That's always, you know, a nice thing to do. You know, done. I know we do it. You know, and even I get caught up, and it's like, dude, it only takes a couple minutes to write it down and do it. The same thing about reading a book, right? It's like, oh, I'm too busy to read a book, but no, you could sit down for a half hour and read a book. But writing it down, huge. We talk about goals, visualizing the vision board yesterday. We definitely recommend keeping your business and personal separate. Attack them at 2 different times. You know, so you maintain that work life balance. But prioritizing your day, writing it down. You know, what are you doing every hour throughout the day? What about every half hour throughout the hour? You know, if you can jot your day down and really control, that's the only thing we can control. Me and you is our time.
That's it.
You know, and what's the difference between Elon Musk and me and you, other than this guy at 4 o'clock in the morning calling all hands on deck meetings? You know, that guy's crazy, but look, we can work 50 hours a week and be extremely successful if you delegated and prioritized your time.
Awesome. You know, one of the things that Pablo Escobar actually carried a productivity journal. You know that, right?
Yeah, there's probably a lot of other things in that journal.
That's where he kept his target list too.
His 1, 2, 3 hit list.
Carry around a productivity journal. Just an interesting fact to share.
That is Pablo. Where is he at now? Is he extradited? Is he in Mexico or is he in the U.S.?
No, Pablo Escobar.
Oh, Pablo. Oh, I'm thinking about, who am I thinking about more recently?
You're El Chapo.
El Chapo. There you go.
Yeah, Pablo Escobar got shot to dead. I think in
that was in the what?
1993.
The 90s, right?
Yeah, early 90s. Pablo, not Pablo Escobar, but El Chapo, I think he is in prison right now, in the U.S. prison.
They got him out in that tunnel, man. That was crazy.
Yeah. So,
where there's a will, there's a way. Back to the T-Talks topic. All right. So we're talking about time management. Thank you for tuning in. My name's Ralph. The old guy over there is, my name's Alex. Sorry. The old guy's Ralph. Jeez. I'm getting ahead of myself. Maximizing the power of your personal productivity journal.
I talk about plan the night before. You should have it. And, you know, we always talk about you should write your plan. And a lot of times some people have the ability to right before they go to bed, they go through the motion and they have it in their brains encrypted and sealed exactly what they're going to do the next day. And but I always say the reason why you write things down is that there's actually three actions that you have to do. And what that
What are
does,
they? Three.
huh?
You got physical, mental, right? Well, what am I on the right track there?
You're on the right track.
All
First of
right.
all, you got to think about it. Then number two, you got to transfer that information into a piece of paper. And
Don't think too hard.
now you have your hand that is actually physically writing that information down, and then
You
as
know,
you're writing it down, you're reading it again. So it actually helps you engrave that information. That's the reason why everybody tells you, at least the people that know about goals and being successful at attaining goals, is that you should write your goals down.
write them down, put them up, put them around.
And
I had that. Write the check out to yourself. Plan the night before. I like that one. Keeping your journal with you. What else were you saying, Ralph?
sense of satisfaction, remove task postponed 3 times because it must not be important.
We'll say personal development expert Brian Tracy believes that when you write down your action list the night before, your subconscious mind focuses on the plan while you sleep. That's pretty in depth and serious, and that's on one topic that I'm a crazy wackadoo when it comes to the mind. I really am. I'm a firm believer of The Secret. I'm listening to Evolve Your Brain right now. The author of the book, I can't quote him, but I'll quote it back tomorrow. Long story short, the guy's a back doctor, great well-known guy, gets in a ridiculous car accident. The doctor, all the other doctors tells him he needs a Harrington rod surgery, which is like an excruciating, put rods in your spine, this, that, and the other. You're never going to walk again. They told him, Doc was never going to be able to go to his practice, see his patients, whatnot. But the whole Evolve Your Brain, he was like, he sat in his bed for 6 months. He thought about the healing process. He studied books. He looked at pictures of how the spine needed to be from where his spine was. And Doc never, other doctors said never walk again. The guy was walking in 6 weeks in the pool. He was, I want to say in 3 months, he was basically on his own feet. And, 6 months to a year later, he was working out again. But the power of the mind is kind of nuts.
Well, and have you heard of the rock, pebble, and sand story?
No, I have not. The rock, pebble, and sand story. Please enlighten me.
Oh, so it's been. I think that the best way you can do is you can make the glass jar represent the time you have in each day, right?
Okay.
And each item that goes in represents an activity with a priority relative to its size.
Okay.
So the rock being the biggest, you throw it in there, you can fit so much, and then from there you go into the pebble, then you go into the sand, and last but not least, you can still fit more stuff with water. And I don't know if I actually saw the lecture on YouTube many years ago.
Many years.
And yeah, because it's
Keep going. Were you around when Napoleon was writing that? I'm just kidding.
yeah, I was beginning to come up, but but it just shows you that here you are, you put rocks into this jar, and then you think you're done putting information, or being done with putting stuff in it, and then all of a sudden you start throwing pebbles in, and then you think you're done putting all the pebbles in, then you go ahead and put in the sand, and you think you're done putting everything in. Now you're able to squeeze even water in it. So it just shows you the moral of the story is that if there's a way, there's a will. That's one. Number two, you can, if you plan it correctly, you can make time.
You could always make time for what's important, right?
That is correct. So, at the end of the day, the large project can sometimes be overwhelming and difficult, even to plan to start. And this is where the procrastinators get stuck. Um, and sometimes we fear the the act of starting because we fearing failure. And a wise man said that the act of not doing is it's a failure itself, because anything that you don't start, you can't really finish.
If you don't start, you can't finish.
You can't finish. So it's better to have tried and failed than to have tried and failed. I don't know who said that, but I am a firm believer that even though I might not be the greatest individual in many things, which I'm not, but the one thing I always know is that I'm going to try, and I'm going to try to give my 110%. And, that's what you get from me. That it might not be, it's my 110%, but for someone else, it might be a 60%, might be a 70%. But I know in my heart that I did try to do my all. And and we said it earlier, is that you want to be honest with yourself. If you said that you gave 110%, make sure that you did give 110%. If you gave 60, don't tell me you gave me 110.
And it's you could tell, you feel it, what's true to you. Back to the T-Tox topic, chunk block time. You're kind of on that. Break down project into manageable chunks. Block off time, work on the project, then tackle it with a single-minded focus.
You can
The one
eat a
thing.
whole elephant one bite at a time.
You ever hear the book The One Thing?
Yes.
It basically debunks multitasking. Great book. Read it, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, whatever. It was pretty cool. When I was done with the book, I took off the cover and realized it was a domino the whole time. And it's like one domino knocks down a bigger domino. By the end of the freaking domino, it's like you're knocking down the world as long as you focus on that one thing. That was pretty neat. But it basically, focus on that one thing and really focus on it. You can focus on something for 15 minutes, a half hour, take a break and focus on something else. That's how you really have to tackle it. There's no point in doing this, that, and the other and trying to get it all done. You'll drive yourself crazy. Your time management will be all out of whack. You'll get stressed, and not a whole lot will get done to 100% of its capability. So block off your time, tackle it, single-minded focus.
So ready, fire, aim.
Boom.
Do not overplan. Just take action and adjust your aim.
We've all heard it, ready, fire, aim. Often in time management planning, it is better to think you ready, fire, aim instead. This is because most people aim for the target and then they keep aiming at the target, but they never seem to fire. They get so caught up with the planning that they fail to take action. This is just another form of procrastination that we were talking about, right?
That's it. All right. Other than that, we'll just do a quick review of the information. We're going to go ahead and talk about real quick the 80-20 rules, that 80% of your results come from 20% of your action. Deadlines to complete a report due next month can be considered urgent and important on the urgent and important matrix. That will be false.
False.
What is it?
Where would you, or wait, where are you? Go ahead.
A great tool in being more assertive is to use a positive no when interrupted. Which of the best describe of what time management is all about? Managing ourselves in relation to time. What is the 80-20 rule also known as?
The Plato's principle.
The Pareto's.
Pareto's.
What activity demands immediate attention, but are often associated with someone else's goals rather than your own?
Urgent.
What is a powerful way of organizing your tasks based on priority?
Urgent and important matrix.
Which of these is not an example of positive no? We're not going to go. I don't have time to do that today, but I can schedule it today. And last.
What is the positive no most appropriate for? Aggressive people, manipulative people, and effort strategy to control your emotions, or D, all of the above? We're going to go with all of the above there on that one.
All right, so
Ladies and gentlemen,
Hold
it's
on.
10:30.
we got.
and we
it's
still have-
recommended to keep a separate journal for work and for your personal life.
That's true.
And if you postpone a task how many times should it belong on on your action list?
Give me the answer.
3. And last but not least, often in time management planning is better to think as ready, fire, aim. And last but not least is which time management strategy is ideal for taking on jobs that are so overwhelming and it's difficult to even plan to start? It's
Chunk, block, and tackle.
All right.
We made it, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome. Thank you for tuning in. And what do we have?
Thank you for tuning in to ttalks.net. If you have any questions, comments, or something you want us to talk about, email us at raphael@ttalks.net or comment below. Please follow us on YouTube at ttalksnet and Facebook at ttalksnet. Please rate us and don't forget that sharing is caring. Thank you for your support. Till next time, we will T-Talk later.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is Alex DeLuca. Thank you for tuning in to T-Talks, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
And this is Raphael from Hollywood, Florida, saying good night, good day.